situations, traumas, negativity, darkness seems to be cyclic in nature. What does that mean? That means it comes in cycles. It comes in cycles. And so what seems to be the case that in a lot of our lives is that our standard has been created of darkness. Our standard has been created of allowing negative stuff to happen in our lives. And so what I'm telling you today, the principle number one to building the best version of you is create the standard. Create the standard. So check this out. So the crazy thing is about trauma is a lot of the time, or it's not even just trauma, just bad stuff that happens in our life. A lot of the times don't even be your fault. Such and such was walking outside and got hit by a car. You got to work one day, the world will shut down and you got laid off. Like these are very realistic things. Trauma doesn't even necessarily have to be your fault, right? So, like I said, I have been through a lot of stuff in life. I had a really rough childhood. I've seen my mother be abused. I grew up in an alcoholic household. I've been a victim of abuse. I had poor grades. I say all the time I had 16 D's and 16 F's when I graduated high school. And so I had all that trauma and I had all that bad stuff happening to me. And so when I got to school, I didn't just leave that stuff at the crib. All that came with me. I was a menace. I ain't listening to the teachers and all that. And so I was constantly suspended, constantly in trouble. When I got out of high school, like I told y'all earlier, more bad stuff started to happen to me. Although some of it was out of my control, because I didn't do anything, it kept happening. And so I get my car repossessed. I go through several financial troubles. My credit score 300. I didn't even know the credit score was 300. And so it was 300. I'm not telling y'all something I read in a book. This is real life. And so what had happened is a standard of negativity had taken place in my life. I allowed a standard of bad things to keep happening in my life. I can take from the beginning of high school to about 2019, which is an 8-9 year span. I can't really tell y'all that much good stuff that happened in my life. I even graduated high school a year late. I didn't get to walk because my grades were so poor, and they use it as a form of punishment. I can't really tell you something great that happened in my life from the year 2010 to 2018, other than the fact that I was living and given the chance to keep starting over every day. And so what I'm telling you is one day, when I decided to start living the best version of my life, when I had that attitude shift and that mindset shift, and I got up and the world started to shift around me because I said I was going to do what I wanted to do and start living my best life and be the best version of me, things started to happen. A new standard had created. At the beginning of 2019, I'm back a bit hard at the beginning of 2019. Stuff happened. Basically, it's the same type of thing again. I'm sleeping house to house. I ended up starting to live with my granny, you know what I'm saying? And life is just rough at that point. Like I said, there's gonna still be barriers even after I decided that I wanted to be the best version of me. And so in that period of time, I said that I was gonna create a new standard. So what did I do? I stopped eating meat. Might not look like it, but I am a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. I stopped eating meat, and would you believe me, after that, I got a job. I got a good paying job at the time I was working that spring. I got re-enrolled into school. I got into Andrews, like I said. I got a new car. My car had been repossessed. Life had got on the upward for me. I created a new standard. And see, don't miss this. It wasn't the fact that I stopped eating meat. It could be anything. It was the fact that I said I was going to do something and I got that small win in it. And so I want you to think about what's that small thing or big thing that is attainable in your life that you can do that will help you start to have a new standard. You want to know, and the crazy thing is, I didn't even know all this at the time. This is actually evidence-based, scientifically tested in social work, in cognitive behavioral therapy. We call this mastery. And so what they'll do with your clients is, clients that have major depression or have defeatist attitude, they'll assign them a task that they can perform that is attainable to start the cycle of good things happening to them. Create a new standard. So what I want you guys to understand is if you allow bad things to keep happening in your life, if you allow and lay down and let people keep stepping on you and keep being the blood of people's jokes and allowing all the negativity to fall down on you, then it'll keep happening. It's not like life will be like, oh, he or she down there, let me stop kicking them. Now it's kind of stumping. Now it's kind of step on them. You got to get up and hit life back. And so, check this out. The fact of the matter is, you're not just changing the standard for yourself. You're changing the standard for everybody you influence.
Absolutely.
Your kids see the standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this so the little boys in the hood at the Boys and Girls Club can look up and say, man, there goes somebody that look just like me who's been through a lot of the stuff that I've been through. And if he made it, I'm sure I can make it too. Check, you got to create a new standard. You have to create a new standard. And so, and it's the thing. I love my grandmama, I love my mama, I love my daddy, I love everybody. You have to create the standards so that the next generation can keep elevating the standard. So my grandma, both of my grandmas actually, they dropped out of high school, eventually later went back in life because of certain jobs they got changed. My parents, both of them, they graduated high school and they attended a little bit of college. They didn't finish. Me, by the grace of God, less than a month, I'm gonna have my master's.
All right.
So what I'm saying to you is, it's your responsibility not only to create the standard, but to make sure that the standard keeps elevating. There are people in this world who will not get to where they need to be until you get to where you need to be.
You right.
There are people in this world that will not become their best thems until you become your best you.
Yeah.
And so I want you to really understand and internalize that, live that thing.
Right.
Point number 2. You find out who you are, what you are, what's inside of here in your darkest moments. Perseverance is crafted in darkness. Resilience is made in chaos. Do not run from what's coming to attack you. Because it's what makes you who you are. So check this out, the year was 2020. I know it seemed like I had a rough life. I keep naming all these years. Bad stuff was happening to me. Sometimes, just side note, sometimes I did wonder, like, God, why are you letting all these bad things happen to me? And he was like, why not you? So
you better say that again.
I feel like a lot of stuff was put on my plate so that I can share with others how you can make it through.
You better know it.
And how you can achieve your dreams and become successful and all of those great things. And so check this out. But the year was 2020. All those other years.